Welcome to this tutorial for CorelDRAW 2024. In just 10 minutes you will see everything you need to know to start using it. When opening CorelDRAW, its welcome screen appears with several options to start, including tutorials, news, and the latest articles from Corel. On Get Started you can open any existing document or go to New Document. To go for a new one, just define name, the number of pages and the color mode between CMYK and RGB. Then select a page size across several standards available and customize it in width and height. Set the orientation, the resolution, and then go to OK. The new document opens on the main interface under a dedicated tab on top, with all its pages listed at the bottom. On the left you have the toolbar. It's where you can find all the tools inside CorelDRAW. Some of these buttons show a dark corner, collecting multiple tools inside. In this case, click and hold over the button to show other tools, select the right tool and click to use. On top you get several bars showing options and properties for the current tool or selected object. And on the right you have several panels you can use to manage your drawings and document. In particular, you can take a look at the Learn panel to get tips and help on the current tool you are using. If you find any of these panels closed, you can reopen these from the Window tab under Dockers. There are three kinds of objects on CorelDRAW: the vectors, the images or bitmap object, and the annotations. Let's see how to work with vectors first. Select the freehand tool to draw freehand by clicking and dragging on the document. You can also try Live Sketch and Smart Drawing to have your strokes and shapes smoothed and adjusted automatically. With the Polyline tool, click several times to draw straight segments and click and hold to draw freehand as you like. Segments and curves follow one after another until you double-click or close the shape. Use the three-point curve to drop arcs by clicking and dragging to define the basic segment and then release and click to define the arc. To draw curves you can use the Bezier, the Pen, and the B-Spline tools. With B-Spline you draw curves by clicking several times, double-clicking to apply. With Bezier and Pen, click to define straight lines and click and hold to draw curves with the help of the tangents represented as blue dashed arrows. To drop regular shapes and circles, you can enable the tools between rectangle and polygon and click and drag on the document. You can also use common shapes to drop other shapes. Select from the bar on top. With Artistic Media 2, you can drag artistic sketches, selecting trace style, properties, and width on top. CorelDRAW has several drawing aids to help you with your drawings. On top you can enable and disable rulers, grids, and guidelines. You can change the measurement unit used by right-clicking on the ruler. Guidelines are very useful to take references at defined horizontal and vertical positions. You can drop any by dragging from any ruler. Use your mouse wheel to zoom in and out. CorelDRAW includes several snapping options, all collected under Snap to above. You can snap to the grid, the guidelines, or several object key points, including nodes, edges, midpoints, intersections, and centers. Now let's see how to manage these vectors. Enable the Pick tool and click on any curve to select it. Then click and drag to move it or use the black nodes to scale it properly. If you click once again, the nodes will change so that you can rotate or skew the object. Move the central node to change the rotation point if needed. To edit the selected object appearance, you can use the bar on top or the Properties panel on the right. Under Outline, adjust the line color, its thickness, style, its corners, and endpoints. Under Fill you can apply filling in several ways by adding any uniform color or any gradient with Fountain Fill, selecting color and transparency level for each marker and setting gradient direction at the bottom. With Vector or Bitmap Pattern Fill you can apply patterns by either using vectors or images. Now to edit the vector shape you can use all the tools collected inside the second button of the toolbar. With the Shape tool you can move nodes and tangents to refine the vector shape and double-click on it to add new nodes if needed. Enable the other tools to apply nice effects by clicking and dragging over the vector paths. Always use Ctrl and Z to undo any action if you need. Let's see how to work with images. To import one, go to File, Import, and browse for it. Then click and drag on the document or just click anywhere in the document. You can enable the Pick tool to move, scale and rotate it as seen for the vectors. Each image is delimited by a vector contour that can be edited and cropped with the Shape tool or other vector tools. You can also vectorize the image by going to Trace Bitmap above. Moreover, you can select the image and open the Properties panel to apply several effects on it. Under Transparency, you can apply uniform, gradient or pattern transparent effects. Click on No Transparency to remove any transparency effect instead. With Bitmap Effects, you can apply several effects and corrections. Click on the plus button to browse for the effect and adjust its properties while checking the image. Inside the Adjust section, you find all the adjustments to correct the image brightness, contrast, and much more. All these effects will be listed above in order. You can edit the effect properties. And with the I button, turn it on or off. You can also change the effect order by pulling one up or down. To drop text and annotations, you can enable the Text tool and click and drag on the document to define a text area under dashed contours. This delimits the maximum text spread as you type in. If you go over it, its contour becomes red and hides part of the text content. In this case, you can click and drag the nodes to extend the box as you need. You can enable the Pick tool to select and move, rotate and skew the text box as seen for other objects. You can also adjust the text font, size, style and colors from the top bar or the Properties panel. Make sure to select any text or changes won't be effective at all. You can set the colors for the text fill, its background and outline. At the bottom, manage caps and customize the text characters, and switch to paragraph to adjust text indentation and distribution. With the Pick tool, you can select any object, use Ctrl and X, C and V to cut, copy and paste it. You can also select and edit multiple objects by clicking and dragging over these. To see and manage all the elements inside your document, you can open the Objects panel. You can show or hide any object with its I button and block any modification on it with the Lock button. You can also click and drag any through the list to change its order of visibility, especially in case some objects overlap. You can apply several effects such as shadow, contours, distortion, and extrusion with the Effects tools at the bottom. Most of these work on vectors and some on image as well. Select one and click and drag to apply it. If you enable the Extrude tool, you will add some 3D extrusion that gets updated in case you edit its basic shape section. You can adjust its direction with the black cross and its total length with the small white block. Always with the Extrude tool, you can click once on the extrusion and click and drag to rotate it, or drag from its green circle to rotate around its axis. Consider that you won't be able to adjust the extrusion direction after this, as you can see from the white cross. You can also select the extrusion and set its properties above, including type, 3D rotation and color, taking the shape filling color and independent solid color or a cool gradient. You can also correct its bevels and add up to 3 lights from different directions. Use Clear Extrude to remove the extrusion effect. To save your project, go to File and then to Save As. CorelDRAW projects are all saved under a CDR file format, with all your object properties and their placement over the document. Choose other formats, such as PDF to render and print the document, or SVG to upload it on the web. Thanks for watching. If you found this video helpful, please give it a thumbs up, and if you have any questions or ideas, drop them in the comments below. I'd love to hear from you. And if you're new here and you enjoy tutorials like this, don't forget to hit the subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss an update.